So good morning, private practice builders. So today I received a question, and that question came from someone who's, currently working and wants to set up their own private practice. So the question is, what are the best strategies to market your private practice? And I'll start by saying this. Back in the olden days, um, there were really particular ways in person, generally speaking, that we marketed private practices, right? There would be events, things that we would go to where we could pass out our business cards or be introduced to people who might be able to find work for us or refer people to us. There were mass mailings and, people would send introduction letters to local businesses or organizations where your ideal client might be. That stuff still works, right? I'm not going to say that that doesn't work. They were very effective then, and they're also somewhat effective now, right? I found that with mass mailings, it's much more effective in rural than, city communities. The fewer residents in an area, the more likely they are to actually respond to such a letter. The more businesses are, to take that seriously. But today, we have what I call the great equalizer, and that is the internet. Okay. So no matter how small your network is, no matter how, you know, much you might feel like you don't know enough people to really get this business going the way that you want it to, with the internet, you can expand that reach substantially. You can also build your legitimacy. Okay, legitimacy. That's what you want to be building with your online presence, right? Building an online presence, right? That's just very important. So here are some of the things I want you to think about. This is sort of like my marketing 101, right? So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and create your client avatar, your ideal client avatar. So who is your ideal client? What are their, where are they coming from socially, economically, racially, and ethnically? What is their issue? How can you help them? What generation are they in? What are some of their struggles? What's their educational background like, right? So create an ideal client avatar or more than one. I know a lot of experts say just create one. I say create two, okay? Think about two ideal client avatars. I think that that's best. I think that realistically, we usually, we may have one person, one ideal client in mind, but oftentimes we end up getting a couple of specific types that who come to us and who really fit our niche in terms of who we want to work with. Okay. I want you to also create your marketing materials, right? So you're creating your own marketing materials with that client avatar in mind. So you're building your website, your blog, your business cards. You're going to make it very clear who you want to work with, that you understand them, that this space is for them, and that you can help them, right? Another thing that you can do is go ahead and actually find places where you can speak publicly, right? Where your ideal client is. So for example, let's say you want to work with, the older age range of Generation Z, right? So the older end of that cohort. You would think about where are the places that you can find them. Do some research on online marketing towards them. Think about what sites they might be on, like Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram. Where can you find them? Where are they most likely to be found? Ask relevant questions, create relevant discussions for them there. Try to make it as interactive as you possibly can. And again, you're asking questions that are going to really resonate with them and fit them and who they are culturally and what their issues might be. And you're going to also add really just relevant imagery, right, to what would speak to them. I also want you to blog regularly, right? So part of creating your online presence is having one, right? You want your name. When I search for Amira Martin LCSW, it was formerly Amira Crawford LCSW, but when I search for those, I'm coming up on page one. That's what I want to see of my Google search. I want to see my image, my information coming up on page one. That is what you want to see. By blogging regularly, by setting up your website, by being interactive in this way, you will, get to that place where you want to be on page one of your Google searches. Another thing that I want you to think about, creating a schedule for those blogs. So I would say to start, yeah, weekly. Weekly to start is ideal. You want to kind of like have some information for them to read through when they find you so that they can get a sense of you. And then later on, you can kind of slow that down a little bit to maybe monthly. Okay. With your marketing, you want to put yourself on at least 3 online advertising platforms. Okay. So 3 platforms where you're featured, where your services are featured. You know, these are like Our Psychology Today or Open Path Collective or Therapy for Black Girls, like these sorts of national listings where clients can find you. And I also want you to continue to work your network, right? So some of that old-fashioned stuff that we used to do with, you know, everything being an in-person discussion and handing out business cards, I want you to still do some of that. I want every single person who knows you to know that you have this business. So creating a 1-minute, you know, elevator pitch where you're introducing yourself and your business, discussing what you do and who you do it for. I want you to do that. And I want you to, you know, have that discussion with everyone that you speak with in person. I want everyone you come into contact with to at least know that this is something that you do, right? You don't have to walk around being a salesperson for your business, but you do want to say, hey, you know, I have a business where I blah, 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 okay? And hand out your card. Continue to do that. That still works. The other thing I want you to think about is posting on your regular social media page about your business at least periodically. You don't have to flood your timeline with it. And yes, there's some importance in keeping business and work separate, but it's also important that people actually know what you're doing, that your network knows you're doing this so that they can refer to you. That's really useful. I would, you know, even consider creating, you know, and using one of those social apps like Later or like Hootsuite or Sendable, where you can post your content regularly to your various business websites, social media platforms, rather. And then finally, be patient, right? Remember to expect little to no traffic in month 1, okay? And minimal traffic in month 2. Be patient and continue to build, okay? So that is my marketing 101 for you. And I hope it works out well. If you have any questions or any glitches, please feel free to drop a comment below or send me an email, and I'm happy to respond. Okay, have a great day.